Yeah, if possible, I'd like to start with a bit of a general update on employment nationally before I come to the regional side of things. I'm sure everybody read all the reports yesterday, which are a little bit doom and gloom. As Helen mentioned at the outset, unemployment rates hit the highest level for 3 years. They grew to 4.5% in the 3 months to August compared to 4.1% in the previous quarter. About 60% of that fall in employment comes from the youth unemployment, so people aged 16 to 24. And obviously the end of the furlough scheme is likely to lead to greater redundancies, as we all know, and the threat of greater restrictions on a localised level, particularly in certain sectors, isn't helping. So that's the doom and gloom. I wanted to get that out of the way right at the outset, because everybody seems to rely on me for a really positive picture. So that's the negative side of things. But as Ian and Nick and Danny and Richard have just said, there are lots of packages support that are available, and a lot of those that were announced in kind of August time, particularly around funding for the National Careers Service and additional work finding services and the start of lots of additional work coaches. That's all starting to come to fruition, and there's a lot of this baseline economic stimulus packages in terms of Kickstart and the job support scheme and localised furlough schemes, that whilst many feel have still got a long way to go, and there's still a lot of lobbying around extending them to different sectors of the supply chain, and trying to get those to be increased at the levels that they're being offered, and the details coming out about how people are going to administer those, it's really positive that those are there and that some form of financial support is available for businesses to draw on to try and have a more stable approach to planning over the course of the next 6 months. So I think that that's the hardest part of the employment challenge at the moment, as it is for economic recovery as a whole, is that lack of stability and certainty that prevents businesses from planning. So I just wanted to share a more positive picture about job creation, whether that be new positions or as the winter plan, the job support scheme that we've just mentioned, allows for a different kind of job restructuring in the promotion of short-term working and creation of more part-time roles. So I'll share my screen if I can figure out how to do it. I might need talking through this, Richard.
If you go to the bottom where it says share screen.
I've not got that. Oh yes, I have. Let me find some statistics now. So the REC, which is the Recruitment and Employment Confederation, so it's kind of like the industry body for recruiters, have launched something called the Jobs Recovery Tracker, which is kind of a live tool. It's 3 or 4 weeks out of date because they gather the information as they go along, but it's really, really positive reading. So the upshot is that new jobs are being created. So whilst unemployment is rising, new vacancies are also growing. Now, they're not at pre-pandemic levels at the moment, as you can see, but they are rising dramatically month on month, particularly from this August period, and they're shooting up. In the week, the 14th to the 20th of September, which is 3 weeks ago now, 129,000 new jobs were posted, which is the highest since lockdown measures were introduced, meaning the total number of jobs posted in the UK continued to rise to 1.2 million. Okay. Now, if I just scroll down, you'll see that the highest levels of growth are in education, understandably, health and social care, cleaning, catering and hospitality, retail. So it's a case of the cleaning side of things is all ramped up. Hospitality, the positive signs of recruitment is still there, as more people at the moment still seem to be eating out. There's a lot of positions within retail gearing up for Christmas. Seasonal work, which I'll come on to in a moment. Professional services, particularly accountants, is quite buoyant. Driving and distribution, still we're doing all the online shopping, so a lot of those roles are particularly in demand. And obviously the big growth areas, IT and scientific. Okay, and whilst it's nice to look at the national figure, what does that mean locally? Well, I managed to find trawl the internet to find these positive statistics. So you'll see that actually the highest rates of growth are us in the pink, well, the coral colour in the northwest. So you'll see that we've got the highest rate of growth with almost a 20% increase since March levels. So that's really, really positive news. I hope that makes everybody feel better. If you know somebody who is in a redundancy scenario at the moment, or finds themselves on the jobs market, the message out there is it's not all doom and gloom. There are a lot of jobs available. It's finding the right sectors that are growing and hiring. And obviously the other upside of it is if your business is recruiting at the moment, it's good to know that there are lots of candidates available. So that's my little bit of stats. The other question was to talk briefly about Stockport Jobs Match, wasn't it? So I think everybody knows about Stockport Jobs Match now, am I right? It was obviously launched by the council, delivered by grassroots. It was set up within 3 days of us going into national lockdown, way back towards the end of March now, so a really long time ago. It was a crisis response tool to try and match key worker and frontline support jobs with people who'd been made redundant. This was in the days of any furlough being announced, so there was a lot of people fearful for their jobs, and we were all panic buying loo roll, and everybody needed delivery drivers and care workers, and we needed a vehicle within Stockport to match up that additional source of jobs with all of those people who needed work. So we launched Jobs Match as that kind of intermediary. It has evolved to become Stockport's very first dedicated localised jobs board and a centralised career hub. So it's pretty much a one-stop shop for anybody looking for employment, training or employment support within Stockport. So it's got everything from careers advice to apprenticeships information, to grants and funding information about online courses, etc. So it's a really, really positive tool. Now, at the end of September, we celebrated our kind of 6-month marker. And now I suppose the remit for Jobs Match had at that point switched from a pandemic response to promoting the recovery and helping people back into work. Should we go into greater restrictions at some point, it will obviously still have the benefit of being able to help people into those temporary roles as well. But at our 6-month marker, just to give you an indication of the impact that this has had locally, we've had over 19,000 visitors, new visitors to the Jobs Match website, and we typically see 150 to 200 people per day coming to the site to search for jobs. We have advertised over 1,000 vacancies within the Stockport area or surrounding areas where Stockport residents could get to for work. We have supported 180 businesses locally in advertising their vacancies completely free of charge. So you can put a job advert on there if you're hiring at the moment at no cost. All applicants come directly to you to go through your normal recruitment process in the usual way, either to a careers inbox by email or by directing them to your own careers site. We just help you reach more people and boost that application response from local residents. Around a third of those employers that have used the service, so around 60 employers, are now using it on a regular basis to advertise their jobs because of the quality and volume of people that they're seeing coming through, which is fantastic. We also operate a jobs matching service so that individuals can sign up for, say, all driving jobs or all social care jobs. And we match up their CVs to employers posting those jobs. We've had over 1,500 people register for that service, which has meant that we've sent over 9,000 CVs out to employers with corresponding vacancies. So it's had a really, really big impact. And Jobs Match is, I suppose, reflective of those wider employment trends and some of those statistics that I mentioned earlier in terms of vacancy growth numbers. And we are now seeing 150 jobs plus advertised per week on Stockport Jobs Match for people to apply to. Now we usually prioritise the kind of lower skilled, easily accessible, immediately available type vacancies, but you can post absolutely anything on there. We've had kind of management level positions, very specialist technical positions advertised on there, all getting good throughput. But our big campaign over the last couple of weeks has been to promote seasonal Christmas jobs. We posted 60 new jobs this week alone for employers and retailers within the Stockport and surrounding areas who are looking for 12-week Christmas temps or part-time weekend work, which is obviously fantastic for young people or carers or for those with families. So there's a lot of positivity around new job creation and the service that we're delivering. So if anyone wants any more information about Jobs Match, they can pop onto the website. It's stockport-jobsmatch.co.uk. There's an employer section on there which has the Kickstart sign-up form, as Nick mentioned. So you can submit your Kickstart vacancy on there. Or if you just got a general vacancy that you're looking to hire on at the moment, you can pop the details on there as well. But please do share out with anyone that you know is looking for work, or give us a follow on social media and help us spread the good word that Stockport is hiring and that businesses are back open.
Thanks, Caroline. That's really good. And it has proved, hasn't it, a fantastic resource and a really good tool for people, as I say, to not only when you jumped on right at the beginning to sort of aid in a disaster recovery kind of situation, but to now look at the overall, have a longer term look at an influence on the overall longer term recovery, I think is really important. And it's there for people to use. And it's going to continue, yes.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, the idea is that we will help support people. I mean, for example, when you look at Kickstart, it's a fantastic scheme, but it's only really successful, and the government have really put the emphasis on it being a joined up approach. So they want to be able to offer young people a Kickstart vacancy, a 6-month work placement, and then at the end of that, when they've developed some fantastic skills and they've got a personal development plan, they can come back to Jobs Match to help find their next role, their next apprenticeship, or their next training opportunity. And that goes beyond just young people. You know, anybody who's looking for work at the moment, if they have a delay in finding a new job, they could perhaps start a temporary job that they could find on the Jobs Match website. There's a huge amount of training available at the moment. So whether you're out of work, looking to change jobs, or looking to upskill your workforce, there is a lot of information on there about the training, the free training and grants that are available at the moment to help Stockport upskill and reskill and change sectors. So it's a fantastic tool that will hopefully have that joined up approach between jobs and employers, education and training, and all of the fantastic different partners that we've got across Stockport that have a range of different services at the moment. So we signpost individuals to those as well.